Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program 0.25. So here we are around the lovely tiny little snowball of Eeloo. And last episode, if you missed that one, we actually landed the crew on the surface. So in this episode, what I'm basically going to do is get them off this planet, back into orbit again, and continue on with the mission. But before I do that, I kind of want to test out how this planet looks at its apoapsis, or aposun, apoKey you might call it. So let's take a look at where we are, just to be sure. As you can tell, we are still fairly close to the perigee in its orbit, or the periapsis. Now we're starting to swing around. I kind of want to see what this planet looks like from its farthest point, the apoapsis. So I think that's what we're going to do in this episode. I mean, last time we did all the science we could from the surface. We did all our little gravity tests here. And right now, we're right about where Jewel is. So I'm going to warp ahead a little bit further and see where we get to. Okay, so what I'm basically going to do here is just start time warping, and I should be able to get the maximum warp going because we are indeed on the planet. And there we are. And my god, this planet moves so slow. Can't really see the velocity of it because everything's freaking out right now. But this is going to take a long time. I mean, look at this. We're at the maximum warp, and oh my god, it's just taking forever. I don't know if I want to do this anymore, actually. By the time we get around to here, like 10 years are going to have passed. Oh my gosh. I severely underestimated the slowness at which this planet revolves around the sun, so I think I'm going to just stop that. I know I said I was going to do that, and it seemed like a really good idea at the time, but now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't seem like such a good idea. Because even though I'm at 100,000 times warp, that would probably take 10 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of real time of warping like that to get out here, plus another 20 or so minutes to get back, and I certainly don't want to make my return voyage when I'm over here. That would just cost way too much delta V. As it is, we're already straying a little bit too farther than comfort. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to get these guys back into the ship, and we're going to get them home. I'm sorry if that's a little disappointing for some of you guys, but I don't want to sit here forever and ever. Besides, it's Thanksgiving, and, you know, but that's okay. I'm making a video anyway, just because I love you guys, and, you're my good fans, so you deserve a video, even though it's Thanksgiving. Although by the time I post this, it'll probably be several days away from Thanksgiving already. So, but so happy Thanksgiving from you guys from the past, I guess. This is the voice of Hot Jupiter speaking from the past. Oh, did I do these? I did do them, didn't I? Yes, I did. I always forget which ones I did and didn't do. And yeah, we did that one already too. Alright, so we've got about 40% of the fuel in here, 100% of the fuel in these two things. We should barely even need to use any of that fuel, so I'm not too worried. So I'm going to set this old probe here as the target, and we aren't quite aligned with it. Let me see if it does get any closer at some point. It looks like it... I don't know. I'm just going to warp around until it's light time again. Yeah, it looks like it basically stays at this distance away, so we're going to have to do just a little bit of corrections when we blast off here. Again, so I'm just going to wait till this gets to about here, and then we're going to start basically trying to rendezvous with it. I'm going to estimate that it's not going to take barely any fuel to get up there. Where is it? It should be somewhere. Hell, I can't see it. But anyway, we're going to point roughly to the the 90. So I think that's straight up. So let's go ahead and just get that underway. Let's take a look at what's happening here. We might want to go 90 plus just a little north, because we're going to want to try to intercept it just a little bit at least. That's why I'm going north just a touch, but not too much. In fact, we'll get it right back to the 90 again. And just out. Ooh, that's getting further away. So, let's see. Yes, the more we do that, the further away it gets. Ooh, that's an ugly, that's an ugly kind of intercept there. But, you know, let's see. We might go with it. Let's see, yeah, because we will eventually meet up with it again somewhere. Let me just see what's better back there or over here. Let's see if we pull in a bit. That won't really help us, will it? No, not really. We'll go back. You know, that gets us relatively within range. We'll be a little bit behind it. We'll be pretty far away from it, though. Let's just try that again. See if we can get that a little cleaner. You know, I'm okay with this. In fact, 16, 18. That one's a little closer back there, believe it or not. Ooh. 13. We might actually go for that one. The inclination's a little wonked, a little nutty, but actually, no, let's go with this one. This one's better. We'll go with that one. So we will put our spacecraft in line with the node. Come on, get over there, you little bastard. There we go. I love how I just haven't been watching this whole time. I'm just putting my faith in Sir Isaac Newton that I'm going to just keep going this direction without crashing into anything. And that's the most amazing part about all this. I just made one little, basically a squirt of fuel, and didn't even have to watch, just because I knew that it was going to be okay for all intents and purposes. But okay, let's see. This craft has about 1,400 left. Only use about 200 of it, which is not too bad. Oh, there it is. Well, that thing is. Actually, you know what I might do? And I've totally done this before. I might just do this like a standard rendezvous, actually. I'll wait till it gets to about here. I'll kill our transverse velocity. Which means I have to point to the retrograde. This is in target mode, by the way, which was right about where our node was anyway. So I guess that's pretty good. So I'm just basically killing our transverse velocity. In other words, we're just stopping ourselves, stopping it from drifting away. Where's the anti-target reticle? It's got to be around here somewhere. So that's the target reticle. Might just try to push this thing onto the anti-target reticle, which is, yeah, right about there. There it is. Okay, go away, maneuver node. Okay, so we are now traveling at the target at about 0.6 meters per second. And there's our target. So we basically have to go up. We basically have to point straight north, and I might just point a little bit ahead of it. Let's see. Because it is going... Ah, hell, let's just do this. We'll burn basically straight at it for a sec. See if we can get this thing... Actually, yeah, it's not bad. Getting it nice and close. 2.5, and then once we get over there, we'll adjust it one more time. I don't want to burn too aggressively because I would like to save... Oh my god. I would like to save a good bit of this fuel for the return journey. So we will just warp ahead a little bit. And now we're just moving up, basically, until it basically crosses us, as you can see there. Aha! So once we get to about that point, when it's basically dead even with us, that's when we are going to kill, once again, our transverse velocity by pointing at that retro target, or retro movement reticle. I always confuse those things. That's the retro movement. That's the retro target. I'm going to basically just push that right onto that by just bursting behind it. We could already start doing that, basically. So as you can see, it's pushing it away. Basically forcing it away from us. But I'm also forcing it onto the anti-target reticle there. Which means that now we are automatically heading towards it at 2.3 meters per second. Which is pretty nice. Now where are we? Here we go. We'll just make another push at the target. Nothing too crazy. Again, I'm trying to conserve fuel. I don't want to make too aggressive burns. 0.5 we'll go with. And we'll just flip it around. And we'll just keep these two things together, basically. That'll ensure that we're heading towards each other all the while. So we're heading towards the target at about 7 meters per second, and you can see we're starting to drift already. And don't forget, the reason we're drifting is because we're both moving this way. So the place that I aimed for is no longer, the ship's no longer there. The place where we aimed at, because it's moving. Everything in space moves. There's no such thing as something standing perfectly still in space. Oh, you know what? Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to observe the danged mineral, the, whatever you call it, materials bay and mystery goo from low orbit, didn't I? Oh, bog. Oh, bother. Oh well, we'll just have to maybe sacrifice that because I don't feel like wasting the fuel to once again get into low orbit. Oh, maybe I will though, I'm not sure. But anyway, I should pay attention to our rendezvous here. Somehow that became not the target anymore. There we go. So we are drifting a bit from the target. There we go. I was like, what's going on here? Okay. We'll just keep this thing basically pushed right on top of that, like that. Just to make sure we're still heading towards each other at a good clip. We're going to intersect at about 0.3, which is about 300 meters. Just moving in here very slowly. There's no reason to go flying towards this thing at high velocities. Oh, I never looked at these. We have successfully explored Eeloo. Alright. That's exciting. Eeloo contract is complete. I'm quite happy about that. Just get her a little closer. There's two objects heading towards each other while at the same time flying around a planet. Unbelievable. I always just thought that was absurd. Because you forget from this view, you're like, oh yeah, we're just pretty much standing still right now. But it's easy to forget that you're both flying, like whizzing around this planet. Alright, I might just, since we're pretty slow now, give it one more little good burst. There, that ought to do us. One more good burst. Just to finish it off. And we are approaching the closest approach here. Intersect 1. Just taking it very slowly. Don't want to burn too aggressively here. We can already pretty much see it. The text is in the way, kinda. But it's there. So I'm just gonna give it a little squirt. Just push it right on top of that. Just to make sure we are heading straight for each other. And there we are. Indeed. We're heading right towards each other right there. I'll stop it at about, I don't know, 30 meters maybe. Just so we get nice and close. We won't have to do that much work with the RCS thrusters. Of course, in real life, if you did this, it would probably not be good because your jets would injure the spacecraft, so to speak. But luckily, that doesn't really happen in this game. Let's see, one more little beep. Okay, good. We are completely zeroed out. That's pretty good. All right, we'll now point north because that's also the direction that this is pointing. And I'm going to switch over to this now, which is still relatively maintained its northern heading. I'm just going to set the Clampetron as the target, and I'm just going to go N just to move us down so we can push up into it, basically. And H to cancel that. Okay, let's go into chase view. Chase view is the best way to go when you're doing rendezvous because up is up and down is down when you're in chase mode. So I will press K. I'm just going to move this thing up there to catch it. I think the lights are still on, yeah, so that's good. It'll help kind of guide us along here as we do this on the dark side. It always seems to be that I do my rendezvous on the dark side. It must be some sort of, I don't know, Murphy's Law, and some sort of KSP Murphy's Law. Let's just turn this thing so the engines are both facing the same direction. And now we are drifting to the left. So now we must use a different key to cancel that. The J key. There we are, and I'll just press I to get us down there. So it's just a matter of making little movements. I'm going to press H just to head towards it a little bit. There we go, we're heading towards it at about 0.4. That's fine. So we're heading in towards it, and also moving down towards it also. And you can see on here the nav ball, the target reticle is sliding upwards to meet us, because basically that's telling us that's where that is. You could really do this without even looking at the main screen. You could do this all by looking at the nav ball. But I also like looking at the main screen just because it's, you know, a little bit easier to see it as well. So again, I'm just going to sort of wait till this gets right to the horizon line. That'll tell me that we're essentially lined up. Alright. Oops, I hit the wrong button. There. Basically stable. Now let's go left. Just a bit. And back right again. There. We should basically be lined up. Now all we gotta really do is just push H to go forward a bit. We are a bit tilted, so I'm just gonna tilt, and also L just to move us a bit that way, because we are a little, just a bit off kilter. There we are. And we're also above it. Just make sure we don't smash right into it. Okay, there we are. Again, let's just head straight towards it. A little bit that way. That's good. And that should be a good connect. And there it is, folks. That's how you do that. Alright, we are reconnected. So, what I'm going to do is dump all the remaining fuel. It's doing that glitch again. I love that glitch. It's my favorite glitch in all of Kerbal Space Program. Out and out. There we go. For some reason, it wasn't letting me transfer any fuel. In. Nope, not in. Dang it. Out. And out. And there's nothing left in here. Oh boy, wow, so we only have about 2,200 meters per second left in these tanks. That's scary, and I'm honestly not sure if that's going to be enough to get us home. So we might be doing the refueler thing, guys. I'm not sure, though. Basically, how we're going to find out is I'm basically going to try... I'm going to make the escape here. Where are we? Okay. I'm just going to, like, do, like, a little bit of a, whatchamacallit? Just a simulation. Just to see how much fuel it would take. And what angle we have to burn at and all that goodness. It's going to be a bit tricky because this is on an inclination here. It's going to be a bit harder to do it, but can we do it? That's the question. We have to find the correct angle too. This is pretty important. Alright, so that brings us close to where that is, and then another node here. Let's see if this will work. Oh wait, what's this telling me here? Oh, Jewel. What? Jewel? So if we swing back around, we'll encounter Jewel. That's kind of whack, isn't it? I don't want no Jewel encounter in there. There, it's relatively balanced. Now, of course, it's not going to tell us we have the encounter now because our phase is incorrect, but judging by everything I'm seeing here... Actually, you know what? It doesn't tell me how much meters per second this is. Does it? No, it's not. It's only telling me how much the first one is. Tricky. Let me see. If I delete this one, will it tell me... It's all confused. Well, this is interesting. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, it has no idea what it is. It thinks that maneuver node belongs there, but that's not correct at all, is it? Maybe it's another 1,000. This is tricky. I'm gonna have to just finagle this. So in the next episode, we are gonna see if it's possible to get home with 2,200 meters per second. That's about 5 minutes worth of thrust. My better instinct says probably not, but, you know, there are miracles that happen in KSP, so what we're going to do is find out in the next episode. So, thanks for watching, guys.